Hi guys, all right, so we are gonna be going over this meal plan, how to use it. It's a very, very easy meal plan to follow. So let's go over this. So number one, I wanna make sure we understand this is not your meal plan that I'm gonna show you right now. This is gonna be a imaginary person that we're just gonna call Karen. So this is Karen's meal plan. So we take a look, the meal plan looks like this. Over here is all the food options. And if you take a look, protein is in blue, fat is in yellow, carbs is in orange, and veggies in green. And we have another option here for protein, which is basically red, because these are proteins are considered one protein and one fat. Now the portions look like this. If you take a closer look, you're gonna notice that I put in the precise portion for everything. So chicken breast is 6 ounces, egg whites is 6. And that counts as one protein. So how do you use your plan? This is how you use your plan. So Karen's meal number one, she gets 1 protein, 1 carb, and 1 veg, right? So if she wanted to, let's say that she wants to have egg whites for breakfast. Egg whites. It's black, there you go. So egg whites, it's gonna be 6 egg whites. Not 2, not 20, but 6 exactly. And it's gonna be very important you guys follow the exact portions to your plan, because that is actually where the magic happens, is eating the right portions and eating accordingly. Okay, so she gets 1 protein. For carbs, she also gets 1 as well. So we take a look here. For carbs, she wants to have berries, then she can have berries. And it's gonna be 1.5 cup of berries. So 1.5 cup of berries. And then she gets 1 veggie, right? And as long as it's the size of your fist, cooked, uncooked, doesn't really matter. It's very hard to over consume on vegetables as long as you're not putting anything bad on it, like random cheese or all the other stuff. Okay, so that is how her meal number 1 looks like. Now after meal number 1, she's gonna have her first shake, and for all the shakes, it's gonna count as another protein. So that means that if you wanted to, you can actually swap your protein shake out with something else from the protein options. So you can have a shake. I recommend Premier Protein or Prestige Labs shakes. Both will be fine. And if you already have your own, show it to me before. That way I can give it the stamp of approval and say, go ahead, it's a good protein powder. Because not all protein powders are the same, and you should be only using the one that is going to be adherent to your plan. Okay. Now meal number 2, I just noticed I didn't put meal number 2. So let me add meal number 2 really fast. Let's see over here. So you know what? I'm gonna change meal number 2 for Karen. I'm gonna give her 0.5 carbs instead. So meal number 2, it is lunchtime. She gets 1 protein. Let's go to our protein options and let's see. So let's say she wants to have chicken breast. She's gonna have 6 ounces uncooked chicken breast. So yes, that means you're gonna need to get a food scale, guys. If you don't, it's very, very precise to have a food scale. Let me show you why. So let's say you are a CEO of a amazing science company and you guys are hiring. And let's say you have 2 applicants. Applicant A comes in. He's a little messy, he's a little dirty, he smells a little weird, and then he's trying to do an experiment from you to show you that he's capable. And so he doesn't measure anything. He's pouring, he's just eyeing things. He's like, you know what, that looks about right. That's about the right shade of blue. And I feel like that's very close to, 20 cups. So I feel like this is good. He mixes it all up and he gives you the experiment. Then we have applicant B, right? This guy, he comes in, he's nicely dressed, he has a scale, he has the measurement cups, and he's weighing everything. He's making sure it's precisely what it is. And he's pouring. He's like, that's the exact shade of blue that it needs to be. And he gives you the finished product. Who are you going to hire? Applicant A, who didn't measure anything, just kind of guessed, and he thinks he knows, or applicant B, who measured everything precisely and he knows. He knows. You're always going to choose applicant B. And that's exactly what you want to do with your meal plan is you want to make sure you measure everything out, because there is a difference between thinking you know and between knowing that you know. That makes sense. Okay, so meal number 2, she gets 1 protein. So she's gonna have 6 ounces of chicken breast, right? That's her 1 protein. And now this is where it gets a little tricky. I give her only half a carb. So we go over to the carb option, and let's say she wants to have brown rice. She cannot have 1 cup cooked because that's gonna be considered as 1 carb. So we have to divide 1 cup in half, and that becomes half a cup. So she's gonna have half a cup cooked brown rice for her carb, and she gets her 1 veggie. Pretty simple, right? Easy to follow. Okay, so that is her meal number 2. After meal number 2, she's gonna have her shake, and then after that, she's gonna have her dinner, meal number 3. So meal number 3, let me start over here. She gets 1 protein again. So let's say this time she wants to have steak. So she gets have 6 ounces of sirloin steak. Okay. And then let's say that for her carb, she only gets half a carb, and this time she wants to switch it out, and she wants to have mashed potatoes instead. Now, if you notice, under mashed potatoes, I put any. That means that any kind of potatoes will work. Can be white, can be sweet, can be red potatoes, it can be rainbow potatoes. Any potatoes is fine as long as you measure it out. So 1 carb for mashed potatoes is 1.5 cup. So 1.5 cup divided by 2 is 3/4 cup. So she's gonna have 3/4 cup. Any mashed potatoes. She's gonna have 1 fat. And for her fat, let's say that she wants to cook with oil, right, for her dinner. She can use 1.5 tablespoon of olive oil to cook with. So that means that, yes, if you guys like to use cooking oil, it is considered a fat. So make sure you guys use cooking spray for everything, unless you're going to waste your fat option on olive oil or coconut oil or any oil. Okay. And then she has 1 veggie at the end. So that's how her dinner's going to look like. Now, there is something I'm going to go over. These proteins over here, the red proteins here, these are considered as 1 protein and 1 fat. So we take a look here. If you use a fatty meat as a protein source, subtract 1 fat portion from that meal or another meal during the day. So 1 protein over here, meal number 3, 1 fat over here, meal number 3. So she decides to have 6 ounces of salmon, right? This counts as 1 protein and 1 fat. So that means that after that, she only has half a carb left. And let's say this time she wants to use quinoa, right? 1 cup quinoa is considered 1 carb. She gets half a carb. So she can only have half a cup cooked quinoa. Isn't that an easy meal plan to follow? It is so easy. Okay, so let me go over some pro tips to help you guys out. Okay, make this a little bit easier on. All right, so number 1, actually number 0, make sure you guys use cooking spray like I just said. Cooking oil has a lot of calories. It has a lot of calories. So you want to make sure you're very careful with that, okay? And tip number 1, after tip number 0, all 0-calorie products are fine. For example, black coffee, tea, diet soda, all okay to have. And don't worry too much about diet soda, guys. Actually, it takes a lot of diet soda to actually be detrimental to your health. They had actually made a study already that you need to drink 30 cans plus a day of diet soda for 5 years straight, every single day, to have a detrimental effect on your health. Unless you already have something going on, then I do not recommend diet soda at all. Okay, number 2, timing of meals doesn't matter as long as you're getting all the food. You can spread it out throughout the day if you wish. So for example, the plan here has 5 proteins in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 2 carbs, 1 carb here, half a carb here, that's 1.5, plus another half a carb, that's 2, and it has 1 fat for dinner. Okay, so what that means is timing of your meals doesn't really matter. So if Karen, one day this happens to her, let's say she didn't meal prep, right? Or she didn't cook her lunch and she skips lunch. Well, if we take away the 1 protein and half a carb for lunch, that means that she has to get in her 1 protein and half a carb somewhere, right? So she could put this into dinner and have a bigger dinner. So for dinner, now she's gonna have 2 proteins and she's gonna have 1 carb because she didn't have it for lunch. Does that make sense? As long as at the end of the day, the amount of protein, carbs, and fats you have coincides with the amount that I gave you, then it's okay. You're not gonna gain weight. It's not gonna hurt you. It doesn't really matter. And I have a little example I give people for that. So let's say that I give you $3 a day, right? $3 a day. Someone smart would spend $1 in the morning, then their second dollar during lunchtime, and their third dollar during dinner to space it out. But it is okay if that person decides to spend all $3 in the morning. That means that that person cannot spend any dollars throughout the rest of the day, which might be horrible, right? It's kind of like eating all your food in one sitting. That means you can't have any food at all anymore after that one meal. Or let's say that person decides to spend the $3 at the end of the day. That's okay too. But that means that throughout the entire day, that person cannot spend any of their dollars because they already chosen to spend the $3 at night. Now, the reason why people gain weight if they eat late at night is because let's say that person already spent their $3, right? And it's 8 p.m. And they decide to spend $2 more that's not given to them, but they decide to get $2 more, and now they get $5 for that day. Well, what happened is that that person just got $5 instead of $3. So those extra $2, that's what's going to make someone gain weight, is adding more food on top of the plan that's already there. Okay, hope that makes sense to you guys. Okay, number 3, make sure you guys eat all your food. The foods that I give you guys are fluffy foods, meaning that it's going to feel like a lot of food. But in reality, it's not really compared to some of the things that we might already be having. So for example, Karen's entire meal from breakfast to dinner, including the shakes, is close to 1,400 calories. Now, if you go to Denny's and you have their Oreo milkshake, do you know how many calories that is from one milkshake? Let me show you. So in one milkshake from Denny's, it has 1,300 calories. So Karen's meal plan is 1,400 calories for the whole day. Denny's Oreo milkshake is 1,300. Which one do you feel like you're going to be more full of? Of course, the meal plan, right? It's the fact that we're choosing options like the milkshake, that our stomach is not full and we have more room to have more stuff. So the meal plan is just based on choosing options, and the options are all here in the meal plan, right? That are more fluffy, that has more volume, so you feel more full, and that way you're not going to overconsume on other things, okay? So make sure you guys stick to the plan. I know it might feel like a lot of food, but make sure you eat it all. It's very important. Okay, number 4, choose the foods you wish to have. So that means that I want you to only select options you guys like, okay? So for me, I do not like cottage cheese. I actually hate cottage cheese. But I have people in boot camp, I know people who love cottage cheese. I don't understand, but they do. And so they always have, the cottage cheese for breakfast. I can't do that. I'd rather have yogurt. So that means if you take a look at the plan, if you can't have the cottage cheese, no problem. Choose something else from the options. And if you choose something every day, the same option every day, that's okay too. That works. I pretty much eat the same thing every day. I usually just have egg whites. I have chicken breast. I have rice. I have bread and avocado, and that's like my main choices. I rarely even have nuts, and I can't even remember the last time I cooked with oil. Like, I don't use oil at all because I don't like to waste my fats on oil. Okay. All right, number 5, seasonings. All seasonings are fine, such as salt, pepper, garlic salt, the list goes on. I recommend Flavor God. I like the everything flavor. So make sure you guys flavor your foods, especially your meat. Because if you guys don't like the way your food tastes, you're not going to stick to the plan. So you have my full blessing. Go hardcore on the seasonings if you need to. Okay? That will help you guys out. And that, my friends, my dear friends, is how to use your meal plan. So look at your email. I already put in the portions already right there for you. Follow the portions exactly, and you guys are going to be just fine. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. Okay, I'm here for questions. And I look forward to seeing your progress. Okay, all right, bye.